I'm a huge gamer, actually. I have way more gamer cred than either of you.
Hey, I played World of Warcraft when I was in 6th grade, so back off, buddy.
I play World of Warcraft now, mother. That's right. World of Warcraft Classic, Season of Discovery. Anyone else hit 25 yet? But with gamers like Grand Theft Auto, yeah, it's funny. It's funny because all the reactions to it could have been written like months ago. Like like the reactions to it are just like everyone had like a pre-baked, like scheduled YouTube video calling it woke before like the trailer even came out. Like, so it's an amazing time for journalism, because I feel like this is like where like the AI and the humans are like becoming one. Like this is the first, like these are AI human reviews of GTA 6. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude, it's been pretty unhinged watching the conservatives specifically turn into kind of the pearl clutching SJWs, which they used to hate so much back in the Gamergate era. And obviously not all conservatives. Like I know a couple loudmouthed, dumbass right-wing accounts on Twitter do not speak for the entirety of the
richest man in the world.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, exactly. But so let's take a look at some of these.
Oh, Hinkle. Okay, yeah, Hinkle is definitely like gone full AI. Bro, like, he's the robot boy.
When did Jackson Hinkle come across to your fucking purview, Griffin? When did you first hear about this guy?
Okay, I unfortunately like heard about him very early on, when he used to be pals with like a lesser known guy. What was his little like fucking pal's name? They were both little streamers, and this was back when they were, I guess, communist or something.
Oh, Haas, Infrared?
Yes, I love Haas.
Dude, he's hilarious.
The mega communist.
But I also feel like I very spiritually knew who Jackson was, because he grew up in Orange County, much like myself, and like he's a very specific type of like Orange County cat. So yeah, like I knew him when he was like streaming to like very few people.
Griffin, are you from California?
I'm born and raised Long Beach, California.
What?
Spent a lot of time in Laguna Beach. Yeah.
No way. I would have never pegged you as a Cali. No, I'm kidding.
Surprised, not my voice or
not the mustache, bro. You've got a Cali bro mustache. In fact. Anyway.
Yeah, so
Hinkle, yeah, he went full robot because like obviously he's like the man for this moment with Israel Palestine, because he'll retweet anything. But now he's just like he's consuming everything. He's sucking everything into a big net, and now it's GTA 6. I love it.
Yeah, dude, it's really crazy to see him try to link this actually to the Palestinian struggle, as we're about to see inexplicably. But here's this first tweet. He says, this is a lie. Automatically, I was offered to be in GTA 6. I can't speak much about it, but like you, I was disgusted by the level of degenerate filth in the trailer, so I told Rockstar to fuck off. In a world plagued by OnlyFans and porn, I pray that Rockstar Games finds God and bans GTA 6. Which, again, I just think is hilarious, because this is like an over 20-year-old video game series. This is like some 1990s hysteria over something which has been a part of pop culture for Jackson Hinkle's entire life. Like, that this is not... If this was the first violent video game ever, or the first video game to, you know, display degenerate filth or something, then I guess this reaction would make a little more sense. People first coming to terms with what video games are, but it's 2023. There's like, this is literally the 6th GTA game, in addition to a million online iterations of it, which again have permeated gaming culture for Jackson's entire fucking adult life. What is so shocking about this? How is this one even any different than the previous
fake gamer alert? He's never played the games. I mean, when I was a kid, I had to sneak the first the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was my first Grand Theft Auto. I'd played a little bit of the older ones for a second at someone's house, but the first one I really got into was San Andreas. But I had to get it from a neighbor because I wasn't allowed to buy it. And the hardest part about playing Grand Theft Auto when you're a kid isn't the game, but the fact that the loading screens were like 5 minutes, and they would just be screensavers of chicks' asses, just like bending over. And you would have to just pray to God that your mom didn't open the door to you just watching like video game softcore. And like, So the idea that like they've somehow strayed from their pure from pure origins or whatever is awesome. I like it a lot. Yeah. Find God, ban GTA 6.
Dude, and also, guys, we just know for a fact that like Jackson Hinkle was playing Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, calling people the N-word with his headset in his mom's basement as a 12-year-old. There's no way I will not believe that he did not have that evolution as a child.
Oh, this guy fucking played all the GTA games and like was just mainly killing prostitutes the whole time. Like,
and
you know,
I also did you ever play like online video games during that period? There was a specific kind of like ridiculous fuck you, and you know, obviously all of the unsavory language that I won't dare to repeat on my own podcast there, but it was
because your impression was no words because all the words are bad words.
Yeah, exactly. Also, you guys got to keep in mind that thanks to Elon Musk's new Twitter rules, like you're rewarded financially for engagement on Twitter. So as Griffin was saying, a lot of people are now just kind of leaning heavily into keywords and things that they know will, get them blown up in the algorithm and get a bunch of people quote tweeting them and replying and saying you're a fucking dumbass and all this stuff. So
I do want to follow on that point and piggyback on it because I think that what's interesting is you mentioned that, oh, this is like Gamergate, but I actually disagree because I think that like previous forms of like right-wing culture war bullshit was actually at least based on something, whether they're like misobserving it or like misapplying it or mischaracterizing it.
True.
It would be based on something. But now we are post anything existing. Things are woke and gay before they're even woke and gay. And so like that is the level of like robot AI is what I'm trying to get to, is that it's like old culture war would be like, oh, they would hate a gay book. But now, like, the book doesn't even get a chance to be gay before it's gay.
Also, no, that's weird. It's like, it's not woke, but like, you're gonna tell me that conservatives in America don't love shit with big titties and fucking guns and explosions? Like, that's your demographic, pal. Right. That's you. I should be the one getting a phone call from my sister about how this is anti-feminist and exploitative and how I'm like, succumbing to the male gaze. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That should be the response to this. But
And the first time we actually roasted Hinkle was when he was out here talking about how many chicks he fucks and how he, travels around the world, going to different countries, fucking women.
This guy was not for real. As soon as you heard him talk about women the first time, I was like, bro, you're a scumbag. He was like, oh yeah, the Argentinian women are extra daring. I was like, bro, I'm gonna fucking rake you over the coals for fucking being an absolute. But anyway, that was also, we were also a little salty about that because he was like representing the left on Bad Faith Pod as like how to date as a young leftist, and we were like, you were gonna have the dumbest, most brain dead fucking idiot to represent lefting on the left. Like, this guy's never been in a serious relationship in his life. But anyway,
yeah, I would say the other thing is, outside of like the AI robot aspect of this, the trailer itself isn't even a gameplay trailer. It is literally just like in-game cutscenes of Grand Theft Auto showing very little snippets. And I'm gonna say 99%, if not 100% of the footage, there isn't any like killing cops or like super political stuff. The majority of the images are of black people, and that's what they're really upset about, is that there's just like Miami has black people now. Some of them are overweight, and that is like triggering to them. And it is funny because like Miami has become this weird little like ridoid bastion where like everyone like lives there and makes their like little red pill podcast or their like capitalism based like podcast with like a bunch of OnlyFans girls, because I guess that's where all the OnlyFans girls live now. But I think, probably a larger part of the nation that doesn't live in Miami, that is a weird racist guy online, is realizing like for the first time that Miami looks like that now. And they're like, oh my God. They're like, that's not my Miami.
That's great. I didn't even think about that, because obviously in like the previous GTA game, there's like characters of color walking all over fucking San Andreas or whatever. It's again, nothing new. It's not like there were only white people in the previous GTA installments, but that is an interesting observation.
Well, yeah, but that is true. But like let's think about, it's been almost like 13 years since the last one or something crazy. And the last one was primarily in Los Angeles, which primarily has like a lot of white people.
Yeah, Franklin, the only black protagonist.
And San Andreas, of course, did star black people. But it was in sort of that NWA, like cool, like accepted kind of 80s, 90s, almost like hip hop kind of way. That's cool, as opposed to like showcasing what culture in Miami is right now, which is about people on Instagram twerking and stuff like that, which is fine. But it is like it's like
just kind of a natural progression for Miami
like,
too.
It's like modern culture that they're having to watch.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, what the fuck? Like, honestly, what do you expect, right? Like, society changes. It doesn't look like Scarface when you go to Miami anymore. I just like, you know what I mean?
They're surprised it doesn't look like Scarface. Yeah. Which I've actually never seen. I've just only played.
Bro,
I hate the both of you. I hate the both of you. You guys are uncultured. You know, this is the degeneracy in America that Jackson was talking about. No respect.
I've got to feel it's not a good movie. Like I have like a gut check that it's probably not a good movie. It's just like a meme. But I'll check it out.
You don't think it's actually a good movie? That's your fucking analysis?
I played the video game. That's my.
And I've also Gavin, like, I hate mafia movies, bro.
No, I actually don't hate mafia movies. I just they're not my favorite, but I actually have been meaning to watch Scarface for forever. Mostly just because I love Brian De Palma. He's like one of my favorite fucking filmmakers, and I've never seen his most iconic movie, which is embarrassing.
Al Pacino, you know, just whatever, fucking, you know.
Obviously, I love Al Pacino too. I'm not dissing Al Pacino, but let's get back into Hinkle because he had another banger to follow up his last tweet with.
I gotta
if you stand with Palestine, keep ban GTA 6 trending, and then the notes down here to correct him and let everyone know that in fact there is no connection between the crisis in Palestine and GTA 6. Rockstar Games is a company with no political affiliation. This is once again inexplicable. I don't even know what connection he's trying to make other than Jews control the media, therefore they made GTA 6, therefore whatever I don't like about GTA 6 is the fault of Jews. That's literally the only connection I can understand here.
Evan's like, I'm gonna go down the wormhole. I'm gonna understand it. I'm gonna give it meaning when it has none. Like, no, it's literally robot hashtag AI at this point. Like, these might be an AI program. Like, let's not count that out. That Jackson may have reached peak velocity. You know, like I imagine that at some point, like to take Jackson Hinkle down, his brain's gonna be like on the moon, and there's gonna have to be like a spaceship of like, you know,
be like Johnny Depp movie Transcendence. You know,
wait, what are you saying?
Oh, have you ever seen the Johnny Depp movie Transcendence, where he uploads his fucking brain into the computer system and then it goes all crazy?
Yeah. I haven't, but that's what I imagine Jackson Hinkle's future is. He's just gonna become like a weird brain in space that someone's gonna have to destroy. and I hope one of my ancestors does that, or my future
progeny.
There you go. You know, the other thing is like with the community notes thing, I was talking to someone about this the other day, and I was like, you know, I just we've reached such a peak level of misinformation after October 7th online that community notes can't even keep up. Like, I do not see as many community notes as I used to, and I think it's because they're having to just deal with every Jackson Hinkle tweet.
Dude, it is crazy. It's like almost every fucking tweet has a community note on it at this point. And sometimes I do find them valuable. I also sometimes find them annoying because it's just kind of like that bot at the bottom of every tweet being like, well, actually, you know, this. And it's like sometimes it's necessary when genuine misinformation is being spread. But sometimes it's like I'll see a community note under just an obvious joke or like something ironic. And I'm like, come on, like clearly that was not someone trying to spread disinformation or whatever. So I have mixed feelings on community notes, but sometimes they do come in clutch, like in this instance, pretty hilariously correcting Jackson. We did get some other pretty unhinged responses as well from right-wingers online. This one might be the very funniest. So this guy, Dan, who I guess is some right-wing poster, says he's never played any of the GTA games. And Elon Musk replies saying, tried, but didn't like doing crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene. Just couldn't do it.
Were you getting Canadian there? Is he Canadian? Yeah. It is true. It's a difficult scene, and you have to stomach a lot. But if you're not into, that type of ephemeral storytelling, where you have to. I mean, people also are like the stars of the GTA games are criminals. Like, so yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did see someone say Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't make you kill any cops in it, and I don't believe that's true.
Well, they had the Pinkerton men in the
so
they kind of had the Pinkerton men in Red Dead instead of the cops, from what I remember. I never played it in its entirety, but you probably have to kill those guys like instead of the cops or something. So that might be the way they got around.
You can do that, or you can pay your taxes and start a family. I think those are the two options there. So yeah, I don't know. Like, first of all, I think Elon is one of those guys who is like, I love gaming, but like he has trouble moving both sticks at the same time. Like, I don't think he can like move the aim stick and the
that's me. I'm
sticks at once.
The only thing I relate to Elon on.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's like literally at that level of gamer where he's like, he likes Diablo 4 because you can just click and like face roll the keyboard, but
really
I don't think he has like the skills to like aim and shoot at the same time. So I think he's gonna have trouble with GTA 5. And we got Ian here. Let's hear.
Yeah, Ian responded, said, I'm glad shooting cops in Cyberpunk 2077 is completely optional. Never finished GTA either. So it's just crazy to see these conservatives basically making like anti-violence in video games arguments, but only when it comes to police. Like, they don't have anything to say about all the Call of Duty games where you're basically like playing American military people going around the world killing, Middle Easterners or whatever. But if you're playing a criminal, a thug shooting police officers in GTA, then it's a problem. And all of a sudden we all have to collectively pearl clutch over, again, a 25-year-old video game franchise. It's so dumb. And obviously, like, criminals have always been kind of romanticized in American pop culture and entertainment. I mean, all the way back to like the Outlaws, Jesse James, all that kind of stuff. It's not anything new to glamorize or romanticize bank robbers and criminals and stuff like that. It's really nothing crazy. GTA is they're playing into something that is a long running tradition. It's nothing new whatsoever.
I think your argument boils down to get good, because like Grand Theft Auto is like a game that's like mainstream enough that like anyone plays it. Zach plays it. It's a game for babies. Anyone can play them. It's the most mainstream mass appeal game you can play. But like, there's plenty of right-wing video games out there. They're just way more tactical than these babies can handle. I mean, there's this one new game out right now called Ready or Not, where it's literally about like infiltrating and like infiltrating rooms as a SWAT team. And it's incredibly right-wing in nature from the videos and gameplay that I've watched. But there's like plenty of games like Rainbow Six Las Vegas. Like, there's a million games that have a right-wing perspective. They're just too hard for these babies. Sorry, get good if you want to appreciate some good right-wing culture.
Yeah, play something hard like World of Warcraft. 1 2 2 4 3 1 1 2 3 4. No.
I play World of Warcraft to relax.
Okay. I hear. Also, Griffin, you're the perfect guy. What's going on in video game world right now? Like, what's that? Like, what's hot to trot right now? What's the good game to play?
Your audience probably doesn't care too much about this, so I'll keep it short. It is the Game Awards tomorrow. There is a lot of like bad just industry stuff, just with like the consolidation of companies and mergers, and then laying off shit tons of staff. Which then like eventually is going to make the games worse because there's like less people making them and they're going to be thinner and have less content. There's like that aspect of video games. Then there's also been just a lot of great games this year. I'd like to give a shout out to Alan Wake 2. I don't know if you guys have seen anything about this.
I've heard about that because I saw Vosh talking about it. But go on.
It's a psychological horror game. I think it's like Finnish or something. It's like one of those countries where they talk weird. It's like it's a very fun game. It's got some Twin Peaks vibes. It's got a lot to it. And even when it's cringe, it's very interesting. So if you guys are looking for a good horror game, I would say that's one of my top games this year.